Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, your two artsy gals. Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey listeners, oh my goodness, it has been forever, it feels like. At least an eon or so. Anyway, Lonnie and I are done with our vacations and we're back and we're recording on a regular schedule now, so that is exciting. We will not miss any more episodes for a while. Just a couple of announcements before we start today. The Patreon thing is not working. In fact, it hasn't worked at all. We have had 0 patrons and it's a lot of effort to put into something, so we're getting rid of it. We're not going to be doing that anymore. We will, however, be working on some new ideas and ways to raise funds for the show. And we will announce those probably in June. As always, you can donate to the show through our website, twoartsygals.com, and you can do that by clicking the donate button, and you can do that through PayPal. If you are uncomfortable linking your checking account to PayPal or making purchases online, you can do what Super Listener Lois did and buy a prepaid credit card and just use that. You can do a one-time donation. You can set it up as monthly. You can also gift the show items that we need through our Amazon wish list, which is also, there's a button for it on our website. Again, that website is twoartsygals.com. You can follow us on all the social media accounts we have. We're on the Facebooks, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're on Pinterest, and we are Two Artsy Gals in all of those places. We try to post on there regularly. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but it's always fun when we do. Subscribe to the show through Stitcher or iTunes and the Podomatic apps. They're all free and they will all get you the freshest of episodes right in your ear holes as soon as they are ready to be listened to. I think that is everything for this week, so enjoy the show. Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you're listening to Two Artsy Gals. Yay! Oh my god, I feel like it's been forever and ever.
It has.
Doesn't that look weird? It looks weird.
It's pretty. It looks like a fish with a severed tail.
I don't know. We're looking at our our voice stuff on the screen. Anyway, I feel like it's been forever and I haven't actually seen Lonnie in like a month. It feels like. I've been very sad.
Oh.
I realized the other day, I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen Lonnie in like a month, and I feel sad inside.
It's been weird. We took vacations. We went south.
How was your vacay?
I liked it.
Did you have fun? I
Yes.
saw your fella doing that crazy fucking
Tarzan
swing thing, and no way. That
No.
looks like no fun to me.
No. It would have ripped my shoulders out of their sockets. Like, because it's taking you up by your hands, like lifting you. No.
Wait, did it have like stuff around the waist to hold him, or was he just like he looked like he was swinging upside? Like, was he attached to the rope in a way that he wasn't going to fall to his?
He did have a
plummet
harness
to his death. Okay,
Yes.
there. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, and it's a cool harness that has. It's almost like a built-in seat that you kind of sit on.
I just heard him go upside down.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then he said, thanks for not puking on me.
Yep.
And
Because I looked up and I was like, oh, if he puked right now, yeah, I would have been drenched.
I was underneath the goddamn zipper at the Tillamook County Fair when someone blew chunks one year.
No, gross. That's a fear of
okay.
mine. Yeah, I don't stand under the rides because of that.
I was in line.
Yeah.
It was bad. I mean, it just sprayed me a little bit, but like when you're fucking 14, 15 and trying to be cute for all the boys and trying to be cool, and you get
And you have a chunk on your
puke
shoulder.
spray in your Aquanet. It's not awesome.
Oh, that's true. Oh, God. Yeah.
Not good.
There goes
Not
the
good.
hairdo.
What else? Did you guys go to that weird place? Where did you go? You went to a lot of
Went
safaris.
to the Oregon caves and some safaris. Yeah.
I have always wanted to go to that one place where, like, the weird house. What's it called? The Oregon Vortex.
The Oregon Vortex. It was so cheesy.
Did you go?
Yeah. It was so cheesy.
Is it cheesy?
Yeah.
Well, someone once told me if I have a balance problem that I wouldn't like it. It would probably make me woozy inside.
It did make me woozy, the crooked house. Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't like that. And it's just, they present it as scientific and it's not. And so it's really weird. Like, it's just funny because you're sitting there going, what?
Well, I know that the lady
The
who...
only way you can see the evidence of it working is in photographs. We can't measure it, but you can see it in pictures. That's what they say. And then I look at my
What?
pictures and I'm like, no, they don't. Like, supposedly a person's going to look taller and bigger on one
Oh, wait,
side.
it doesn't look like that when you're in the room?
Kind of. Yeah, it does because of the crooked backgrounds and stuff.
No, it's just trickery.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Fuck you, Oregon Vortex.
But
Here's the
it's
thing about
corny
that,
fun.
though. The lady that runs it is actually trying to sell it and has been for years. Her kids don't want to run it. And so it's probably going downhill a little bit. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Bummer.
And it's just,
just another place I've always wanted to go. I've never been to Enchanted Forest either. So,
We ended up with a kind of weird group of people that had a wild child running around. And so,
so
The
you wanted
lady-
to beat their kid up?
no, I was fine with it because I was like, whatever. You know, I was in my own little world.
You
but,
were stoned.
but then at the end, the tour guide was like, here, you can have a free sticker. Sorry about that. And I was like, it's fine. Thanks.
Thanks for the free sticker.
For the
No
free
big
sticker.
deal.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, man.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
I had a nice trip. I just went and stayed with my friend Cindy.
Where
and
in California?
San Juan Bautista?
That is outside of San Francisco.
Yeah, it's kind of like inland from the Bay Area.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's like about 20 minutes from the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really cool though. It's a neat place. There's one of the California missions. I don't know if you know about the California missions, but there are missions built along Highway 101 and they were built by monks.
Oh, wow.
And so I think there are like 20 something of them. All up, they go, I think the last one is like in wine country, like where all the vineyards are, that
Ooh,
area.
Cool.
And they start in like San Diego. And they go,
Wow.
so this one is one of the missions and it was really cool. It was really neat. It has a creepy room in it. Like, it's not creepy for any other reason that when you walk into that specific room, there's darkness. Like, it feels not
Wow.
bad things happen in that room. I just felt it. It was weird. Honestly, this is weird. When I walked into the room, I had this flash of like seeing monks when they used to whip themselves.
Oh. Yeah.
It was just weird. It was just and it was just a room that was displaying, like there was nothing creepy about the display of the room. I feel like my microphone's not in the right place, but oh well.
Do they still use them, or is it just a tourist
It's an
thing
active
now?
church. So people go there for like services on Sunday. And it's a Catholic church, of course, because, you know, it's a
Oh,
mission.
okay, okay.
It's monks built it. And
I was picturing Buddhist monks. That's so funny.
no,
Different-
Catholic monks.
Okay, different monks.
Very, very, very different monks.
Yeah, I was way off. I was like, cool, I didn't know about this.
I don't know
wanna
if you
go
saw
check it
the
out.
picture that I posted of like in one of the displays. I don't fucking know why, but there was this creepy ass doll with her foot on a skull on the ground.
That was in the mission?
That was in the mission.
Oh, I thought you were at some like obscura type
No,
place or something.
and I was looking
Oh
at
my
it.
God.
I was like, this is so weird.
That is weird.
And then I was so like weirded out by it that I didn't actually read I didn't read the plaque.
it
was
just said,
like,
pray to Jesus or else.
yeah.
No,
I was just so what the actual fuck? This is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Taking pictures of it that it just didn't even occur to me to stop and read there were a bunch of little placards that said what stuff was. So
This is the original Sinner.
Has a yeah, oh, now I'm gonna have Annie Lennox. I was born the original sinner stuck in my head. There was they have a really pretty garden with lots of very yummy smelling roses and stuff in it.
Things grow so well down there. I love
it's a very nice
plants
area
in
for stuff
California.
growing.
Yeah.
Especially Northern California because it's not like super prickly and deserty.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you how deeply ingrained the WoW nerd is in me, even though I have not played World of Warcraft. It's been probably about 3 years since the last time I played. I don't know, whenever the last stupid Panda expansion came out was the last time I played, and I was disappointed in it, and so I stopped playing. But I was looking at the terrain, like the area around her, and I was like, God, this really looks like the terrain around Thunder Bluff.
Maybe, I bet it
Sydney's
was.
like, huh? And I'm like, oh, you never played World of Warcraft. Okay, never mind.
All of a sudden, you just pull out a sword and run off or something. She's
Yeah.
like, okay, Katie, bye.
Right? Actually, I prefer ranged DPS.
Oh,
so
okay,
I like
okay.
throwing spells and shit.
Oh, okay. So
That's
all of
my
a sudden,
jam.
like, light comes out of your hands and
Yeah.
you run off?
I'm I'm like melting faces.
Cool.
That's my favorite thing to do. But now I can't start talking about World of Warcraft though. One thing I did discover in the Bay Area, and there's one in Sunnyvale, they need to happen in Oregon it's called Daiso. It is a Japanese dollar store.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Why do we not have one in Portland?
I don't know.
Come on, people. And you can
Really?
order stuff online, but you have to order like a box of 38 things, and I only want to buy the one cool thing for $1.50.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny, it's a dollar store, but everything is $1.50 unless
it's
otherwise
imported.
marked. I'll have to show you my salt and pepper shakers. I got the cutest kitty cat salt and pepper shakers.
Yay!
And I have a whole bag full of shit that I got down there. There was like felt for like felting, like roving.
Yeah.
There was $1.50 a package. Ooh. And it has like, each one has 3 or 4 colors.
Is there little instructions? Like,
yeah. And there's a ton of craft shit. I bought some origami brushes, like the pointed ones.
I want some of those.
And I got some little tiny tools that will fix our broken microphone stand because they're little itty bitty wrenches on a keychain.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That sounds fun.
I got my salt and pepper shaker. I got a bunch of weird Japanese candy for the boys.
Nice.
And I got August this thing. He was totally offended. It goes around your waist. It's a belt, but it has a blow up swan where your wiener is. Or it's a goose. So you can goose people. He didn't think it was funny. He took it, but he didn't think it was funny. I think it's hilarious.
He will later when he's drunk or something.
We always hanging out with his buddies.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you know.
He puts it on and runs through the party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they also, I didn't buy any while I was there. They have like containers for everything. Like organizational.
Oh.
Like, you know how I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
Like, out of control. And their office supplies.
Oh, yeah.
And they have some pretty interesting beauty products also.
Yeah.
And they had really cute underpants, but none big enough to cover my ass. I was very sad because they were so cute, but I almost bought some for my nieces. But then I thought, how weird is it that your aunt buys you underwear when you're in your late teens and early 20s? So maybe not. They had transparent underpants too.
Whoa.
I was trying to find a segue into our topic. We're talking about transparencies today, people, not just our vacations.
Transpara panties.
Yeah, those. Lonnie and I have missed each other, though.
Yeah.
We haven't really got to talk since we got home from our trips.
No,
so
I know.
we need to use the phone more often.
I know. I could talk on the phone
Whoa, dog.
while I'm cleaning up and cleaning and cleaning.
I know. You should take breaks from cleaning. Hey, did you miss my dog?
I miss Doodah.
We're talking about using transparencies in art. We actually recorded this episode the night that we did our 100th episode live.
Uh-huh.
And it was not a good recording.
Was it bad?
It
Were
was
we just
bad. I was drunk. You'd been smoking a little. And it was late. And it was so fucking hot in here.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
we just kind of were like, there were there were such long silences. We were like, wait, what were we talking about?
Good stuff.
What was that? I don't remember. So, yeah. It was just not even, I was like, okay. I'm not even going to fucking bother this. And there was a weird thing
Do-over.
with the sound, too, so.
Record scratch.
Well, it's because we were sitting side by side, and we don't normally sit side by
Yeah.
side. And so I think that we were just having trouble keeping track of our microphones.
And we were coming down off the Hive being live on Facebook.
Yeah, that was funny. And I was tired, and it was so hot. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I was super embarrassed because,
Oh, yeah.
saying gross things about your brother on live Facebook. Although, no way, I didn't. No, I said it on our fucking podcast episode. So, no, it was on Facebook, wasn't it? Oh,
It
man.
was.
So I was feeling sad because now I can never meet your brother in person because there's
At
that.
least it was at the end of the thing, I think.
True.
Yeah.
It was. When the most people were watching.
That's true. Good stuff.
So this is our do-over transparencies episode. That's what we're doing today. So I wanted to talk about, now transparencies are exactly what they sound like. They're things that are transparent that you can see through. They're usually you can buy them from like, I had them out when we were doing recording before, but now I put them away and I forgot to get them out again. You can buy transparencies though anywhere that does scrapbooking supplies probably.
Yeah.
And you can order
yeah.
them online. I have a bunch that Sharon gave me. A lot of that stuff came from Art Chicks. But you can buy them, or I found my little bit of printer paper that I had left. You can buy clear inkjet sheets that are for transparencies. So you can print photographs, or is there anything in here, or is this just the package that I saved? I think that it's just the package I saved so that I could remember what it was to buy more. So I was going to show Lonnie a sheet of it,
Yeah.
but now I'm not because there's none in the package.
But it's kind of bumpy on one side, right? That's the
Yeah, it
side
has
it
a little
prints
bit of a
on.
rough texture that you print on that side. So that's the side you would probably glue down. It's acid free in case you're using it in paper projects. So it's not going to like fuck your pictures up or anything. And it's not going to yellow with age or anything like that. So I don't even remember how much this was because I bought it in I think I bought it for graphic design school. And right now I'm looking to see if I still have the project that I did with it. I don't see it anywhere, but I was going to show you. It's cheap though. They're not there. It only comes with like 6 sheets. So it's like, $5 or $6, but you're only getting 6 sheets
Yeah.
of it. So, you would want to use it sparingly, I guess. There are other ways to achieve transparencies without the plastic sheets though. And I'm going to go over them really quick. You can print them on you can print on tissue paper.
Oh, yeah. I
Or
saw
just
that.
draw on tissue paper. You don't have to print it. Now, there are a million tutorials of how to print on tissue paper. I think that partially it depends on your printer and that you should do a little bit of experimenting, but always be careful because you don't want to fucking ruin your printer or have a big old paper jam. My old printer, I could just use a glue stick around the edges and lay it down on a piece of cardstock and print it that way. My new printer doesn't like that. I think it's just a little bit too thick. The glue does like even dried. It just wants the paper adhered better, the tissue. So what I do is I spray my cardstock with spray adhesive, but then I stick it to another piece of paper and lift like a paper bag that's real fibery. And I stick it and lift it and stick it and lift it a bunch of times. So it's not like super duper sticky. So it's slightly stickier than like Post-it note.
Cool.
And then you smoothly lay the tissue paper over it and trim out around the edges and then print it that way. It seems to work fine with my printer and then it comes off easily.
Cool.
So I would look at tutorials and maybe pay attention to what type of printer they're using when they're printing or do searches with your specific printer name. Cause I think that some of them are a little pickier than others about what you put in them.
Yeah.
So, but that you can have some really cool effects with. And I've done that. I actually used to do that a lot with photos, to use photos in mixed media artwork. I think I did a piece for my friend Danny's birthday when their first son was born, when Sterling was born, Danny and Sharon. I did a piece with them, with that, and I did something dedicated to my grandma, but I have since taken that piece of artwork apart because it fell off the wall when we moved and a bunch of stuff broke off of it. So You know.
I always think it's going to smear when I use an inkjet.
So if you're worried, this is the tip I have for you.
Okay.
Use a little bit of hairspray or spray fixative on the side that was printed and let it set and dry. And that should make the ink not smear.
Cool. Okay. Great. That opens up a whole big world
Yeah.
for me.
Another way, you can also print on vellum. And that makes
Yes.
kind of a cool ghostly
Yeah, vellum's
image.
pretty.
I like
it.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to do that. Depending on what you're doing, vellum can add. Oh, whoa, hello. I forgot that I can't talk with my hands with my microphone in front of me. It can just do some really cool ghosty looking stuff when you build up layers with it. And you can also do packing tape transfers,
I like
which are one of my favorite things to do. We talked about that in our tape episode. Was it that episode? Yeah, our tape episode. You can have a millions of tutorials online on how to do packing tape transfers. Basically, you stick it to an image and then you soak that in water and roll the paper off of the back, and the ink or the picture sticks to it. And then there you go. You have a transparency
Yeah.
of something rad.
Yep.
And you can also use, for just smaller bits of text and stuff, you can use regular Scotch tape
Oh, yeah.
to like lift words off of stuff and things like that. And I also saw downtown when I went to Saturday Market recently with my friend Christy, there's a lady who makes purses and belts and handbags and ties and lampshades out of old movie film strips.
Oh, wow.
So you can use also negatives if you want to work a negative. That can be kind of cool and ghostly sometimes too.
Yeah.
So anything like that, anything that light shines through because it's transparent. That's what we're talking about, man. Before we get into what you can do with them, you want to think about the kind of glues you're using, because you want to use a clear glue.
Oh, yeah.
You always want to have a clear glue. I use a lot for that, the clear tacky glue.
Oh, yeah.
I love the clear tacky glue. So I use that, and I'm going to grab this really quick because, oh shit, where's it at? I'm not going to get it out because I don't want to fuck with it. But Diamond Glaze. Is,
yeah, I have some of that.
So it's like a dimensional, Diamond Glaze is kind of a dimensional glue, but you can also use it to transfer images.
Just by covering
by covering it and then peeling it off.
Oh, fun.
But it's fun. It dries crystal clear. And it gives stuff a raised appearance. So that works really cool with transparencies. You can do some cool techniques, even if you're not using it to transfer images. Mod Podge you can use, but here's the thing that you want to remember. If you're using a plastic transparency, it's going to dull the surface. Even if you have shiny Mod Podge, which I never use the shiny Mod Podge, I always use matte, but it will dull it a little bit. You can also use gel medium, depending on the thickness, will dull it a little bit too. And that's, if you don't go over the top of it, it's obviously not going to dull it as much as just using it underneath. So you really want to think about it though. You don't want to use like a glue that's not going to dry completely clear though, because then you'll see it through your transparency and it would suck.
Yes.
So, and the funny thing is, so this will show that maybe my drink was a little strong when we recorded this the first time, because I looked for this book while we were recording, and I looked for it actually for 2 weeks afterwards, which doesn't excuse the drink that it didn't last 2 weeks, but it was on my bookshelf. I probably touched it a dozen times. And it's exactly as I described it when I called you and said, did I give this book to you? Isn't it?
Right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. No, I didn't give it to you. I had it still. There's a book that I recommend, if you are interested in using transparencies in your art, and it's called Transparent Art: Imaginative Ways to Enhance Crafting Projects Through Transparencies. And it is written by a woman named. Where is her name? Oh, well, because it's a Somerset Studio publication. That's probably why I couldn't find it in the library, because I looked for it in the public library this weekend when I was there. Oh my God, total sidebar. I have to tell you, I went to Central Library, which is our downtown library. It's our main branch, and I haven't been there in a long time. Mm-hmm. And I forgot that, you know, it's a safe place, safe, dry place during the day for free where a lot of homeless people can hang out and use computers and whatever. And there's always a little bit of excitement down there.
Yeah.
When you go in. And I went to look up something on the computer because they have computers out that you can use to search for where things are in the library. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, card catalogs are apparently obsolete now. I felt I've never felt so violated without being touched in all my life. Because I was sitting there and all of a sudden I thought, I smell poop.
Oh, no.
Not a fart. That's not a fart. That's a poop. I smell people poop.
Oh.
And I looked up and the guy across from me looked me dead in the eyes while he was shitting his pants. Like he looked me in the eyes and went, and like grunted in his face, turned red, shit himself while looking at me.
In that beautiful library.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No. I was like, wow. So I just calmly wrote down the number of the book that I was looking for and got up and left. And the dude sitting beside me looked at me and looked at the guy and looked at me. And I just shrugged, like, what are you going to do?
Right.
Am I going to yell at the guy for pooping in public? Because he's obviously got some problems.
Okay,
like, he's got something going on. Maybe he just can't help it because he has some mental problems. And also, if he is unstable enough to hate shit at someone, like, I'm not going to confront him. So I just casually left, like, okay, well, you have poop in your pants now. Have a great day.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But,
boy.
Jenny Doe is who wrote it. Jenny D-O-H, as in Doe. But it's a Somerset Studio publication. So if you're looking for it, you're going to probably want to look for that because I couldn't find it in the card catalog under her name. Huh. I didn't realize it. But I didn't need to check it out, actually, because
you had it the whole time.
I had it the whole time. But this is just absolutely full of really cool ideas and inspiration for things that you can do with transparencies.
Yeah.
I love this book. There's a lot of cool ideas. And sometimes when I'm looking for, like, I never do the exact projects, obviously, that are in the book. And I think someone once said to me, like, why would you buy an art book when you can do your own art? And I'm like, well, I'm not buying the art book to replicate what the artist is doing. Right. I'm just looking through to get ideas and inspiration. Like, you know, I'm not going to copy the way she does something, but if you see something you like, make it your own. You can go like, oh yeah, I never even thought of that. Yeah. Like, I know now Lonnie's, the book is upside down. I know. But like these little spirit houses, I think are super cool. And I kind of want to maybe do a swap with those.
Oh, cute.
At some point. Or even if you just want to, like, you know, like, maybe make one dedicated to your grandma or, you know, a relative or something. Maybe it's a cool way to do, like, keepsakes. Maybe you have some things of your grandma's that you want to do in there. They're like little birdhouses, but they're not. Yeah. So I'm going to go over but I wanted to mention this book, though, because it's specifically about transparencies in art. I found a couple more books at the library because I've been trying to go to the library and research this stuff so that I can name some books, and I like going to the library anyway. I'm not going to go to Central Library anymore. Yeah, I'll go to my Hillsdale branch, thanks. Because, you know, I don't know. It's fun once in a while to go to Central Library. Yeah, because it's a beautiful historic building. And if you happen to visit the city of Portland and you're not from the city of Portland, you should definitely go have a look around Central Library because it's a gorgeous historic building. Yeah. And it has that special library smell that old libraries have. It's just stronger in an old library.
All I keep thinking about is the poop, though. Like, that's not a special smell. But
when I left the room, that poop smell was gone. And I was like, oh, books. Yeah. Books again. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was crazy. And then I met, because so one of my favorite bars downtown is directly across the street from the library.
Mm-hmm.
So I met my husband and my friend Christy at the Virginia Cafe afterward, and I walked across, like I jaywalked to get there because it's right there.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I'm like, oh my God. And Christy goes, wait, let me get my drink and sit down because I could tell by the look on your face some shit went down in the library. 'Cause I was like, because the poo thing had just happened.
Oh, man.
Like I found the book I wanted and I texted and said, are you guys there yet? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to check out my books and I'll be right over.
Ah,
I
crazy.
feel like I should write a song called Poop in the Library.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway, I didn't find another book that was specifically about using transparencies in art. And a lot of the books that I found talked about the methods that I already mentioned that you can use. And if you're unsure of how to do them, there are really, like I said, there are a lot of tutorials about printing on tissue paper or printing on sheer fabrics you can also do, or
you
doing
can, like,
tape transfers.
have UPS or Kinko's or a place like that do transparencies for you as well.
Yeah, if you don't want to do them on your own printer, if you don't want to buy the printer paper, like especially if you're only going to do it for a project, you kind of probably don't want to invest in printer paper that you're going to just have around. So
and their prints come out really nice.
they do come out really nice.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I think that you should
You even create little collage sheets and
yeah, well
have
that's
them
the ones that
printed
I
on.
have are collage
Yeah,
sheets that
yeah.
came from Art Chicks.
Oh yeah, you can buy them. Yeah,
Yeah.
that are already made.
But if you have images that you specifically want, like pictures of your family or old family photos and stuff, I've actually thought about doing that. And I have printed transparencies of old family photos before. Like you can get a whole sheet of them made.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're going to use your own printer, I would first print the image on regular paper just to make sure that your settings for your printer are the way you want them and your ink is not, you're not going to have lines in it or whatever. Like before, don't waste a sheet of transparency.
Because sometimes you have to like bump the contrast and stuff to get it to look good on the print.
Yes.
Like it looks good on your screen and then you print it and you're like, oh, that's weak, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, sometimes you're
You
like,
have to make adjustments. And sometimes you're like, whoa, I need to clean my inkjet heads because I have
Yeah.
liney stupid business. So,
yeah.
and if you're going to have liney stupid business, there's no point in even doing the project.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, man.
Burn it with fire.
Burn it with... Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Kill them with fire. I'm not going to spoil it for
Yeah.
people, but holy shit balls.
Yeah.
And that last scene is going in the spank bank for a while.
Yeah.
Also, so is the a love connection
Oh,
between
gross.
Britain. No, you don't.
I was like, ugh.
I will climb Brienne of Tarth like a fucking pole.
That's hilarious.
And also I can't remember his name. Fucking beardy red-headed wildling guy.
Ugh,
Does
yeah.
it for me too.
It was just so funny because she was like,
She's so like,
what the
ew.
hell? Yeah, you are.
And he's
so...
like,
he's like, yeah,
it's happening.
yep. So she's probably like,
You made
no
me
one has
laugh
looked
so
like
hard.
at me like that for a long time.
She's got it for Jaime Lannister anyway.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, let's stop talking about Game of Thrones. Things you can use them. So the thing that I use transparencies for the most is in my mixed media artwork. When you're doing mixed media collage or anything like that, using transparencies and layering them between like layers of paint and other elements creates a really fucking cool depth.
It does,
It
yeah.
makes it this
And
depth
I'm like, why
and
have I
texture.
never tried that?
It's fucking awesome.
Ugh. I have
It's
to go
so
do it
great.
right now.
I know. She's getting ready to put her coat on
Going.
and leave.
Yeah.
Wait,
Gotta
don't
make
leave.
some
We have
shit.
to eat lunch before you go.
Oh, okay. Want to go make some?
No, but it's amazing. And experiment with it. And if you actually, even if you don't want to use the tape transfers, it's a good way to kind of experiment with printing them off on regular paper and then making a tape transfer to figure out how you want to use something and then printing a transparency if you would prefer to use a transparency over a tape transfer, because
You can mess them up and...
yeah, packing tape's cheap. You can mess it up and just
But again, if you did an inkjet... Sorry, I'm always worried about this. Is it going to smear if you do a tape transfer with just a regular inkjet print?
no.
Oh, it stays the image that you...
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, no, that will work. And like I said, if it doesn't work, it's
You're out like 3 cents.
yeah, it's no big deal.
Okay.
So
I'm really concerned about this inkjet smearing
I
thing.
know you are. But I think that printer inks have also come a long way from
Yeah.
what they used to be.
Yeah.
They're a little bit better than, say, they were even 10 years ago.
Yes. That's true. I recently printed something that turned out beautiful. I was
And you're
like,
like, whoa.
That's fucking,
I know.
that's
This-
a lot of color.
I need a new printer. Actually, we are planning an episode at some point this summer on things that you can do using your inkjet printer, techniques and stuff, but I need a new inkjet printer before we do. Like that one I've had for 10 years probably, almost. Maybe not 10 years. I probably had it for 8 though.
Just
Oh my God,
giving
Lonnie's
ideas.
getting ideas. I love her idea
'Cause this
face.
page that I was wanting to do, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the background. Now I fucking know. I
You
mean,
use
sorry, now I
transparency?
know, period.
Wait, why are you
Correcting my cursing?
Stop
I don't know.
doing that?
But now I know how I'm going to do it, and I'm so excited, and I want to do it right now.
Do you need to write a note?
I think I'll keep that in my mind.
Okay, good.
I hope. But yeah,
Good.
it should stay.
So you can also, not only in collage, but you can use them in shrines and like those other things that we talked about, dioramas and mixed media assemblage, layering, like using them to make a layered ghostly image. Or I think Lonnie mentioned the last time we recorded, and I've done this before, putting, like, if you're going to do a backlit shrine or a backlit assemblage, you can put
Yeah.
things in the windows of buildings to like show
Like a
people
little
sitting
shadow.
in the house, or a little
Yeah.
ghost, or little shadows, using transparencies that way. And you know I fucking love any excuse to wire a goddamn light into a piece of artwork.
Hell
So
yeah.
anything like that, like if you're trying to, I don't know why, I just like creepy ghostly shit, so that's why I keep getting stuck on that. But you can also layer words in your artwork that way.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I've seen that, and it didn't occur to me how they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a cool collage with, the words over it. And I'm like, how?
They're using transparencies.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't I know that? Now I know.
Also, transparencies are a super cool way to display photos that are just
Yeah.
a little bit like, you can get your photos printed. You can do it yourself, or in this case, if you can have them laser printed so they're really nice and color
That's
fast,
what I would do.
and put them between. They have picture frames that are double glass frames, so you stick what you want in between the glass frames, and then the frame snaps on around it. So it's basically just holding this transparent object between two pieces of glass. So you can hang those in windows. You can I wouldn't recommend putting a picture in a window, but or you can have it set in front of a lamp so it's backlit, or
Yeah, I've seen them
anything
in
like that.
lanterns with a candle
Yes,
inside.
lanterns.
It's very pretty.
it is. And like you said, we can use it in glass, like with any, and we're going to talk about this also in our next episode. And I am kind of stuck on this idea, and I want to start doing some things like this. You use 2 small pieces of glass, and then smash a transparency between them, and put the copper tape around and solder it together.
Yes.
And you can make cool pendants like that. You can also seal them in resin. Like trap a transparency in resin to make like a pendant,
Ooh, or like
earrings,
that diamond
or the
glaze
diamond
stuff.
glaze. Yeah.
You could, if you had a little mold,
Mhm.
you could just float it in there. That'd be
Yes.
cool.
And you can float them. You can put transparencies in. You can buy blank settings for cabochon settings for,
Yes.
and then you can put transparencies over, like, sheet music or whatever. And then you can either seal that in clear resin, or you can just buy the little glass cabochon things that would sit on top of it and pinch it closed.
I just thought of something that I should have looked up. Isn't there a way to transfer the image on a transparency to a piece of glass or a piece of wood or something? Isn't there some...
Well, there are several ways you
Pinterest
can
thing
do
I've
it.
seen.
Yeah, there are several ways you can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people...
It's like rubbing...
Well, there are transfer mediums that you can use as well. Image transfer mediums and stuff like that.
Put the
I
medium
should have done a
on-
little bit more research about that.
on like a piece of wood and then rub your transfer on there.
Yes.
And then you'd have the image on the piece of wood.
Yes.
I used to be really obsessed with that and I can't believe I forgot.
I am going to find a tutorial about that because I didn't research that.
Yeah, I think it's all over
It
Pinterest.
totally brain farted.
I did too until
That
just now.
possibility.
Sorry about that, guys. I
Also,
just thought of that.
also
I used to wanna
another
do that.
really cool thing to do with, you're making me think of all the layering. That's what I just get off on, the layering possibilities.
Yeah.
Using that in encaustic painting or encaustic mixed media work, because you can
Yes.
seal it in wax and add it in.
You know what someday we're going to have? Technology is going to give us like sheets of paper that illuminate. Someday that's going to happen. I know it.
I think that
I mean,
will
I
be
guess-
a super great day.
It will be a great day because imagine having a light layer in your other layers. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
glow in the dark, you could kind of
Yeah.
do that, but I mean, someday I think we're going to have.
I think we might. We're dreaming.
Yeah. Because then you could do your flat diorama window scene or whatever.
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. I'm going to go work on that right now in my mad laboratory science. I forgot how to English. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm super crazy today too. So I think that's about it.
Transparencies are I'm so
We're
excited.
kind of excited. We were a little all over the place about them, but they
I
make me
know.
very excited.
But it applies to what I'm doing now. We're doing this spellbook swap, which I'm finding so fun.
I'm so glad you're so excited about it.
Because it's like giving me new ideas or like, and I'd be like, ooh, I'm just trying things I've never tried. It's so fun. I love that. I love having a reason and inspiration. I wish sometimes that it just came on its own, that I would just be like, ooh, I'm going to make this thing just because, but it always,
I don't
for
think
some
that
reason, having a reason
to do stuff. Yeah.
gets
That's why
me
I
going.
like to have, that's why I host so many swaps and stuff, because doing swaps, even if it's just mail art swaps, like making a postcard or something like that, always kind of gets my creative juices going.
Yeah.
And gets my brain thinking in a creative way.
Yeah.
For bigger projects and my personal projects.
Yeah, and you get to think about the person that you're making it for, and you're like, ooh, it's
Yeah, I like making gifts for people too.
yeah,
I really
and putting
enjoy
that
that.
energy into it is fun. I like it. Sorry,
I know I'm planning
geeking
my
out right now.
mommy's birthday present right now, but I can't
like
say it because I put the podcast on her phone. Lonnie's
My
coffee cup
teacup
farted.
makes weird noises.
That's funny. You know what I'm excited about? Well, we got a listener mail
Ooh,
on the Instagrams.
oh,
And actually, it's from someone we're going to interview soon. Her name is Angela, and she is a jeweler.
ooh,
She's the one in Astoria that we're going to go talk to.
Oh yeah,
And she listens to our show. She says, "Hey, Katie, I'm Teresa's friend. I know her through my friend Teresa. I don't know her in person, actually.
Oh, you know
But-
her via the internet.
Yes, I totally love you and your fucking podcast. Well, we are fucking excited that you love our fucking podcast.
I'm glad you cursed too.
And she listens to us while she's in her jewelry studio at home. So that's awesome. I'm
Nice.
super
Ooh,
excited.
Hi, I like your studio.
She makes cool shit there, yo. And she had a question that she thought I could answer. And when I answered it, I thought, this might actually benefit other listeners. So,
Sweet.
it was about business names, and she had a business name. And she just discovered that there is a jewelry school in Ohio with the same business name that she chose. And she wanted to know if she should change names. And I told her what I said was, technically speaking, in the state of Oregon, that would not interfere with her getting business licenses or registering her
Right.
business name because it's an
Right.
Ohio business.
Mm-hmm.
However, we live in the digital age and there's the World Wide Webs. And if they already have a strong web presence and they had the name first, you're going to have trouble finding your name available in social media accounts. And you have to have social media accounts to make people aware of your business and domain names. So what could happen though, and this happened to a friend of mine with her web design business many years ago, like probably about 10, well, no, because it was probably more than 15 years ago, because it was when the internet was like first really hopping with web commerce and stuff. And she was designing a lot of websites and she had a business name, and there was a company in California who had the business name. I actually think that my friend had the business name that she had first, but the company in California was bigger and they had more resources and more money, and they hired a big fancy law team and they sent her a cease and desist and they took the domain name from her. And because she was a small business and basically building websites in her home, she had 0 employees. She didn't have the money to fight it. Technically speaking, she had the business name first. She probably could have fought it and said, no, suck a dick.
Yeah,
Pick a different name.
Pull
But
up the
because
date you
they're,
registered,
yeah,
and you're like, eat this.
but because they're a big company with a lot of resources and it's a small guy not able to fight that, she ended up changing her business name.
Yeah.
So, and it ended up working out in the end. She ended up liking the business name she
I
chose.
didn't like that name anyway.
Yeah. But so I advised Angela that she should probably, because she just started and just chose the business name, you would probably just choose a different name just to eliminate any potential headaches
Yeah.
in the future.
I had a weird thing with my business where I'm Knit Nanny, and I searched that name when I went to use it, didn't find it anywhere. And in Oregon, that's right, as long as there's no other Oregon business using that name or nationwide business using that name, you can register that name or whatever. And so I was like, okay, well then months later, I noticed there's a company on the East Coast that's the Knit Nanny, and she makes products for treating lice or whatever. And so I don't know. I mean, we haven't clashed. I think we know about each other, probably because we Google ourselves or what, see, and she's never said anything to me. And I know she's not a big business, and I'm not, so I just don't know.
You guys are offering completely different services though, so it doesn't
and she's
sound like
the Knit Nanny, and I'm just Knit Nanny. So I think technically we're okay.
Yeah.
But it is kind of weird. I'm like, oh shit, sorry.
Well, that's
I didn't know that was there. And I really like this name and I want to keep it, and I don't,
That's like Sharon, her farm is Roland Family Farms, but there is apparently a Roland Family Farms on the East Coast. They like each other on Facebook.
Cute.
It's kind of funny, but she wants to change their business name because she doesn't want people associate, when you search for someone, you're like, wait a minute, this isn't the right Roland Family Farm, like that kind of thing.
Or I've accidentally got calls from the East Coast where they're like, do you have, and I'm like, oh shoot, you're talking about the other, yeah, sorry, So
that's something to think about when you should, and sometimes even doing thorough web searches, you're just not going to come across,
doesn't come up.
It just doesn't come up. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But just know that if there's something out there already, you might want to change your name, and you might want to change it more than just altering a couple of words, mostly I think because the potential for someone to sue you.
Yeah.
And not, and as a small business person, knowing that if someone sued me and said, you can't have Katie Cahill art, I'm Katie Cahill art. Or you can't have Two Artsy Gals, we do Two Artsy Gals. And I get paranoid when I named this podcast. I did podcast searches everywhere to make sure that no one had taken this name, because Two Artsy Gals isn't exactly clever. It's not.
I think it is, whatever.
Well, but it's not something that someone else wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Angela, for that
Yeah.
compelling question.
It'll be fun to meet you and see
Oh
your
my God. And we
studio.
have plans for this shit. Like, we are going to have a planning meeting over lunch when we're done here. Lonnie doesn't know it's a planning meeting,
Uh-oh.
but we're having a lunch planning meeting because I have some ideas about coming to visit and interview you and your awesome art. So
Cool.
it'll be radical, dude.
Yeah.
So next week we are going to talk about flower presses and pressing flowers and using pressed flowers in your art because it's spring and there's flowers everywhere and my allergies are angry. So I want to smash them. Alrighty. So until next week, go make some cool shit, yo!
Do it now!